I caught my sixth cousin 4 times removed violently cracking my sister, but instead of beating his ass, I stopped him and started brutally diddling him up the bum until he became bisexual. My name is Kyle. I am 15 years old and gay. My family was visiting distant family on holiday in Herzegovina. We hadn't seen that side of the family in a couple of years, and we were mostly going to their house because my 3-year-old brother, Kevin, had never seen our family in Herzegovina, and we had just gotten him a passport. The airport was high-key loud and all the convenience stores were low-key ass. They didn't have the sugary Diddy Baby Oil energy drink soda, which is my absolute favorite drink ever. On the plane, there were 2 babies crying while their parents were cracking out in damn public. They didn't even go to the shitty airplane lavatory toilet to fuck. When we arrived at the airport, my great-uncle Mikhail and his niece Tatiana were there. They said the rest of the family was home. They drove a Bugatti, but it was a 1925 model, so it had no AC, Bluetooth, built-in giant horse dildo, not even a radio. On the way, about halfway through, I had a huge craving for the Nicky, but I remembered I didn't bring my vape with me because TSA would get pissy if I did. I made great-uncle Mikhail stop at the Circle Q gas station. They had a ton of flavors, even my favorite flavor, made for minors, defined by Merriam-Webster as a person under the age of 18 years old, fruity, mango, nicotine skibidi toilet, guyot, toilet femboy, watermelon lychee, skibidi riz, diacetyl apple medley, cream, cum flavor. It tastes so good and makes me have an orgasm whenever I take a hit. I paid the man. He didn't ask for proof of age, because apparently here, every kid smokes, vapes, drinks alcohol, and does that fresh Colombia. Of course, I was surprised I wasn't denied sale, because I'm clearly 15. I took a hit, and a drop of hot nut dropped out of my shorts and onto the hot pavement, the sperm evaporating into vapor. The 75 milligrams of nicotine per hit felt amazing. I got back into the car, and we took off again. As we approached the house, the people next door were having a cupcake listening party. At that moment, they were listening to Squidward Nose. Everyone in the car was chanting the lyrics. His dick smaller than my toes, I'd rather ride Squidward's nose. We pulled into the garage, where there were a ton of anime lesbian porn pictures and bad dragon dildos. This was obviously my second cousin Sergei's goon cave. We walked into the house, and it smelled amazing. Immediately, I knew Grandma Senior was making 67 of her amazing tasting hot cum femboy skibidi mangoes. Walking in, I met my fat cousin, Alexei. He's the guy you need to remember. At the dinner table, we all sat down, eating out hot cum femboy skibidi mangoes and talking to each other. My third cousin once removed, Pavel, gripped my thigh while I ate. It was hot. After dinner, everyone cleaned up their plates. Pavel, Tatiana, and I all sat in front of the TV and watched the 6 or 7 o'clock news. They started yapping about Oliver Tree getting slimed the fuck out by a helicopter in Brazil and starting a fire. I wasn't really paying attention, instead I was scrolling art furry on Reddit while Pavel was touching my dingaling under the blanket. He started stroking it violently, and I nutted all over his hand. Nobody paid attention, but still. I started paying attention to the news when they started talking about Diddy. I love Diddy. I collect all sorts of memorabilia like his used protection, his headphones from his collaboration with Beats, Diddy Beats, and he even sent me a sample of his baby oil. But anyway, after the 6 or 7 o'clock news turned off, we went to our rooms. Walking down the hallway, I heard what sounded like a big black dude and a femboy moaning, and I wanted to see. It was actually Alexei cracking my sister, and hard. I didn't want to see pussy, so I put a blanket over my sister and made my cousin pull out. I pulled it out and put my thing in his fat bum, and I cracked him and made him crack me until he turned bisexual. He went home with us, and now we crack at least 2 times a day and we have been a cutesy couple for 2 years now. I love him, and I am planning on asking him to get engaged with me, but don't tell him. From EU Skibri 67 Boyticola.